Hello everybody, welcome back. It's Sport Federation TV time. Time for us to take a look at what's happening in the world of sport in the Western Cape. Of course, our various sports structures in the province. We speak to the athletes, the coaches, the administrators. Tonight we've got a nice full show for you. And of course, we're going to bring you some of the highlights of some of the repeats that we did before. Getting us started though, tonight in studio with me is Jack Brice from Jack Brice Boxing Promotions. So we're talking boxing to get started. Jackie, nice to have you in studio with us.
JP, great to be here, first time, and looking forward to our interview.
You're no stranger to TV and media. I mean, it's one of the things that you guys as a boxing promoter, you have to be good at it compared to maybe another sport federation.
You know, it comes with the territory.
Yeah.
I've always believed to be calm in what we do.
Yeah.
And love to talk about the fisting game.
So how long have you been involved in the world of boxing? I mean, the Brice name, the Brice family name, everybody knows Emil Brice, Basil Brice, Jack Brice. You guys, everybody knows you. How long have you been in the game?
60 years.
60 years?
From the age of 6, yeah.
Yeah. So we saw quite a lot of promotion around your activity and your history. Tell us a little bit about the pathway for you. I mean, where all have you coached? How do you get started in the world of promoting a boxing fight?
Yes, I still recall very well. One of my first fighters was Gary Murray.
Yes.
Way back, around 92, 93.
Yeah.
After I finished boxing as a pro. And I took young Gary in. And then I had a youngster called Corey Saunders.
Yes.
The world heavyweight champion. He won the title in Germany against Klitschko. And I trained for about 3-4 years, made Gary 17-0, and then I decided to give it a break. You know, I was in the police at that time with the South African Narcotic Bureau, and came back. Your love for boxing is always going to be there.
Yeah.
And I went into business and teamed up with my brother Emil. And my late brother, as you know, he's passed away 5-6 months ago.
Yeah.
And started promoting. And in COVID, I went on this path and wanted to make champions.
Yeah.
Train champions. And then we started this journey.
I think a lot of people don't necessarily understand the job of a boxing promoter. And maybe you can give us a rundown on what does a promoter do? You have to, other than putting on events, behind the scenes, what is the actual job? Do you coach? Do you have to manage the player? Do you have to,
Very good question, JP. As a boxing promoter, when you take a fighter who's come through the amateurs and you know he has talent, but talent is not always enough.
Yeah.
You've got to plan his future for the next 2 years, which is predominantly 8 or 9 fights. And you've got to, with his trainer, with his manager, we look at fighters that meets his needs and say, in 3 years' time, we want this kid to be South African champion.
Yeah.
Sometimes it happens earlier. Because if a kid's got talent, I have an eye for talent. I've always had this eye.
Yeah.
And I work very closely with the trainer.
Yeah.
And
so do they come to you? Does the trainer come to you and
Yes.
say, Jack, we need you to manage our player? Our fighter.
I don't manage them, I promote them.
You promote them.
I don't sign contracts. I don't believe in contracts.
What's the difference between managing and promoting?
That manager must look after that kid who has become a professional boxer. He gets sponsors for him.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, back in the day, it was done a lot. Nowadays, guys like Colin Nathan from No Doubt Management, are guys that look after their fighters as managers.
Right.
A lot of Cape Town managers don't do that.
Okay.
Matt Leashing does that.
Yeah. So as a promoter, do you have to spend time on the phone? Do you have to organize venues? You got to. I mean, what is the sort of daily? What does your day look like as a promoter? Are you always negotiating? Or are you always chatting?
We always. You know, I have probably about 32 fighters in my stable.
Right.
And most of them are rated, and some of them are champions. I have a world champion called Lunga Sitamele.
Yeah.
And yes, always on the phones.
Yeah.
I think if you call me, I know you're always on the phone as well, but we're negotiating all the time.
Yeah.
We talk to the managers, talk to the trainers, getting an event going. We need to do the marketing around that fighter. Some of those managers don't do it. Their trainers don't do it. So we're schooling them at the same time.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot goes in the final product.
And is that then with the aim of actually the end result being the fight night?
Absolutely.
Is it all about the fight night?
It's all about the fight night.
Right.
And making sure that my fighters, we usually have the promoter's corner.
Yeah.
And a lot of my fighters who I'm grooming, and that's champions that need to defend their titles, will come to that event. And that is months of planning.
Right.
To get him there.
So talk to us a little bit about at which stage do the coaches that are out there, coaches or managers, at which stage do they now knock on your door and say, okay, my fighter is ready for the next best thing? And do you then first have to sort of analyze the fighter and check whether this fighter will be good enough for fight night?
Good question. I work very closely with trainers like Steve Newton from SN Boxing, Dominic Ferreira. We plan for that night. As I said, it's way down the line. We've been working together. We make sure that when this kid's ready for a SA title, a world title, an African title, that all our mechanisms have been in place for that event. So yes, we work very closely with the trainer, manager. So ultimately we will achieve our goal together. It's teamwork.
Yeah.
It's all about teamwork. And as a promoter, and you can ask any fighters out there, I speak twice a week to them.
Yeah.
32 fighters.
Wow, okay.
Just to make sure they're living a clean lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that the money to the brain
okay.
is that they remain humble.
Yeah.
Because champions are humble people.
So we want to talk to you a little bit about what a typical fight night looks like. There's probably a lot of people that want to know what the
backroom is.
The background looks like. Yeah, we only see what we see on TV. We don't know necessarily about that, and we're going to come to that in a second. How many in 30 seconds? How many events can you put on in a year? I mean, you probably can't do one every week, but it's building up to big events. What's typically a good number for a promoter?
A good number for me currently is 5.
Right.
I've done 9 in a year.
Yeah.
As I'm building my kids up.
Yeah.
I call them my kids because I like my children. And we make sure that we try and stick to 5.
Right.
5 is a number you can use. I do a lot of developments.
Okay.
Probably 2 developments. Actually, I do about 7 a year because I do 3 developments and 4 big shows.
Right.
So that's my goal.
Okay.
This year, currently, I'm on 4 now. So we got 2 or 3 to go before we end.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right, folks, we're speaking to Jack Brice, promoter, South African boxing promoters, very active here in South Africa, in the Western Cape. We recently had an enormous tournament in Wynberg at the 2 Mil base, where athletes from around the country, especially with a big focus on women's boxing, was in play. And we've got some footage for you behind the scenes. But after the break, we're going to speak to Jack a little bit more about what it means to promote a boxing event and some of the fighters that are coming up in South Africa, and of course a little bit more talk around the more recent event that was held in Wynberg. We'll be back in a sec. Don't go away. Welcome back, folks. You're watching Sport Federation TV. In studio with me, Jack Brice, South African boxing promoter. He's been around for a long time, and we recently had a big event in Wynberg. Jack, let's just talk about that. Before we talk about Wynberg, when we see an event for the fans that are there, I was in Wynberg. I came to watch the event. It was an amazing event. But when you're sitting there as a spectator, there's lights and there's cameras and there's action and there's fighters that are walking out of tunnels and there's fireworks and razzmatazz and all sorts of jazz like that we don't know how it happens. Yeah. Are those the kind of things that you as a promoter have to think about? How does your team look to put on an event like that?
I can't do it without my team.
Yeah.
100% correct. I have a big team of 10 people, from the producer to the production, and that went live out on SABC.
Yeah.
And we needed to really do a good job, and my team did an excellent job.
Yeah.
You know, we got guys, the gloving steward, he's the guy that looks after the gloves. You'll see him in the middle, in the ring, taking the gloves off. Gloves are very expensive.
Yeah.
Some of the fighters want to keep it, and I give it to the champions.
Right.
But yes, and we've got guys looking after the officials on the night.
Yeah.
So yeah, my team does a great job.
So one of the things that, I mean, this was a Boxing South Africa event, right?
That's right.
Right. So that was, of course, and they ask you to put on the event. Is that the format? Is that how it works?
I apply for it.
You apply for it. Okay.
I apply for it. I apply through your esteemed
Yeah.
body, as well as who assisted us
Yeah.
with the Women in Boxing series. And then we apply through Boxing South Africa. We pay 10%
Okay.
of the 2 main fights,
Yeah.
and then we pay the purse monies within 14 days of the event.
So the fight, we'll talk a little bit about prize money in a second, but one of the things that we saw there on the night was the number of officials. There was a lot of officials
Yes.
involved. Referees.
Yes.
There were additional officials looking very closely at the corner.
Correct.
From an events point of view, it looks like it's all very structured and organized according to, as a spectator, it looked like you had very strict rules there.
Boxing South Africa would take over my event.
Right.
As soon as they arrive, that event belongs to them as the regulator.
Right.
And yes, I'm glad you noticed that. You know, some trainers use certain little moot, and we call it the old smelling salts and various other things. So that boxing official on both corners, they're watching the corner to see that these things don't happen.
So they're making sure that the event starts on time, finishes on time.
Absolutely.
So it's all very structured according to regulations.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
and we adhere to those compliances of Boxing South Africa.
Tell us a little bit about Weinberg, about the event. Of course, a big focus on women's boxing. I mean, I think that was the primary cause. Is that right?
Absolutely. Women boxing, I wasn't a lover of women boxing. But let me tell you now, I love it to bits.
Yeah.
I think these women, I'm actually getting cold shivers now.
Yeah.
I've made a lot of champions in women boxing. I started bleeding them from about 2023.
Okay.
And listen, they're good, man.
So we had
They're
one of your boxers, Sonela Mbombo, was on
Yes.
was on our show not so long ago. Tell us a little bit about some of the boxers that are coming through the ranks.
Particularly that evening, and Mbomba, she's a great talent.
Yeah.
And there was Olwetu.
Yeah.
Olwetu's from Stellenbosch.
Okay.
She's got a pedigreed amateur career. She's 4-0 now. And then we obviously had my pride, which is Tolashi,
Yeah.
the South African featherweight champion.
Okay.
Recently been to Japan.
Yeah.
Lost very close points decision for a huge title. And she's gained experience, first time out. And there's a number of good goals. I mean, we've got Tucheni, Simankela.
So what happens with these fighters now? I mean, is it a question of they just keep training and they look for the promotion or the next prize money fight? Is that the picture?
Well, they're in the fight game, and prize money is the ultimate. But you need to become a champion.
Yeah.
I mean, these South African title fight goals are getting between 70 and 80,000 rand for 10 rounds.
Okay.
But it's just not the 10 rounds.
But as a boxer,
it's months of training.
That was my question. You know,
Yes.
as a boxer, your career is to wake up in the morning and to train, and do that for months until your next fight.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And it's repetitive.
Yeah.
It's again, I come back to your first question earlier on. We've planned Tolashi's future way ahead.
Yeah.
And she's come through with flying colors, but quite correctly, they get up in the morning, they do their running. In the evening, 5 o'clock, in the gym. She belongs to a gym called Ninesai in the Khayelitsha area. It's an army base, and she's absolutely brilliant. They get sponsored, I look for sponsors
Yeah.
for them
Yeah.
so that they can maintain their protein powers.
Yeah.
I mean, it's costly to, and if you don't make it,
Yeah.
you're not going to make it. But I must tell you, Jackie Brice Boxing is not going to take someone in his camp. And I'll say that
Yeah.
as honestly as I am, because I don't want a fighter to waste their time.
Yeah.
I will be the first one to tell you that you're not going to make it.
What comes next for you now? When is the next big event? Do you have an idea when the next competitions are in Cape Town?
I've got a little development show on the 14th. I've got Jason Paul,
Right.
cruiserweight. He's 4-0 now.
Yeah.
I've got Calvin Madondu,
Yeah.
brilliant welterweight. These are all kids that have come out of the development. And it's their last development fight now. And that happens on the 14th of November. And then the big one in December. I've got, and you guys are getting it first, eh?
Yep.
I've told no one about it.
All right. Well, you don't have to tell us anything that's a secret. But so you've got two big events coming up now.
Two
a development
two
tournament
big events.
and then another event at a later stage.
Yes, but I want to
Yeah.
tell you guys that the Provincial Sport Federation TV, it's going to be Aziz Kunat
Yeah.
versus the world champion in the super featherweight division, Lunga Sitamela.
Yes.
And it's going to be held at CPTU in Bellville.
Yeah.
And this fight is a grudge fight.
It's really,
It's a massive fight that's been coming 5 years.
yeah.
Both of them now are at the pinnacle of their careers.
Yeah.
I can't call a winner, but it's going to be a great fight.
Yeah. 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 How are we doing as boxing in South Africa? Are we competing? We know that our amateur boxers are doing really well. They're competing and slowly going through the ranks. But how are we doing in South Africa? Are we up there? I mean, there seem to be so many different structures. We've got 2 minutes left. We just want to know from
What
that
you just mentioned, the amateurs are doing well.
Yeah.
And that's because the pros are doing well.
Okay.
It's because the structures are good.
Yeah.
When they reach professional level, I'm talking about the kids that are talented. And South African boxing is in a good space at the moment.
Okay.
We had our problems with the board, and Minister Gayton McKenzie has sorted that out.
Yeah.
You know the guy Gayton is. And soos hy sê, hy buys and he buy nie. And yes, our boxing's in a good space.
Yeah.
We've got a number of world champions.
That's great.
So all I can say is the future is bright.
That's fantastic. Jackie, great to have you in the studio. We can't wait to get you back in, and some of your fighters as well to come and sit and talk with us so we can give exposure to the athletes, the fighters, and the events. And yeah, amazing job. And we're looking forward to getting you back in studio.
Thank you, Jack.
There we
And
go.
we'll keep punching.
There we go, folks. Jack Brice Boxing Promotions, of course, hot on the pace after the event that was recently held in Wynberg. And of course, it's been fantastic to see all that footage that you just saw in the background there. That was all from the event at Wynberg that was kindly supported by the Western Cape Department of Cultural Affairs and Sport, as well as the Western Cape Provincial Sport Confederation, that was instrumental in making sure that the boxing event was on. And of course, with that focus on women's boxing. So we're very excited to see where boxing is going, and we love seeing the link between amateur boxing and professional boxing. So Western Cape boxing is healthy, and we're going to keep talking about it here on the show. When we come back from the break, we're going to bring you some of the highlights of previous interviews that we had in studio with us. Don't go away, back in a sec.